Are you a Mario, a Yoshi? Who's your go-to Mario Kart character?
I'm trying to think. I like
It says a lot about a person, Jared, so be careful with your answer.
Oh, man. I like Mario, and I like Toad as well.
Ooh, Toad's a good one. I mean, Mario's, of course, classic.
Because I like the Toad special one is the multiple, like, super fast things. I like that. That's fun. No, not that. That's the star.
Oh,
he has, like, each one has, like, their kind of special thing. No. Am I right? Am I wrong, or am I wrong
It's
here?
been a while since I've played these.
I was never a big Nintendo head to begin with. I most only played at other people's. I was one of those Sega weirdos.
I loved Sega.
I had a Genesis and a Dreamcast.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A Dreamcast? Mm-hmm. Was that before or after the Genesis?
That was after the Genesis was one of those old school cartridge ones.
Okay.
The Dreamcast was one of the early disc video games.
Right.
And so that had like Hydro Thunder. I remember that game. That game was dope. It was like this boat racing game.
Nice.
And then probably still some form of Sonic the Hedgehog was involved on it.
Of course. If you're on
classic.
Sega, I mean that is the caveat of having a Sega Genesis was Sonic.
Yeah.
in my opinion.
yeah, that was one of the top games for sure. Mm-hmm. But to be fair, I think as far as games go, I don't know if Sega could compete with Nintendo. Like, Sonic was a good game, but I feel like and that's one good game. But I feel like on Nintendo, you just had a higher concentration of good games.
Smash Bros.
Mm-hmm. All the Mario games, the James Bond stuff.
Yeah, although when I go back and try to play them now,
I don't understand how those things were good either. I mean, also we have like. Now that we have like the Call of Duties and stuff that we have now, it doesn't make any sense. But you got to shoot them like 48 times.
Right. Yeah.
Jump. They are terrible. And I played one relatively recently, maybe within like the past 5 years or something. And after like 5 minutes, we shut that shit off. It's like, this is dumb.
Yep. Although Mario Kart, I
put
can
on Call of
still
Duty.
Play. Right.
Let me shoot you in the head from 48 feet away.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting.
Let's get into this episode. You know I always got some goodies for us.
Oh, I'm excited.
I don't even know what I have, actually.
The goodies are so good, you don't even know what they are.
I watched The Social Dilemma.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And your thoughts?
It was...
Didn't surprise you?
Yeah, it's just so predictable, you know?
Right.
I would say this, the dramatizations were certainly something. I was not expecting that. Also... not all of them, but so many of these tech dudes that were interviewed have such punchable faces. That's a bad thing to say. You shouldn't say that. But I just felt that way. And it's just like, it's so weird because they're telling us how to, like, what bothered me a little bit, where it's like it kind of came off like they were like some sort of heroes that were like, oh, I had to get out of this because it was too bad and we're destroying society. Right. But it's like, this is coming from the guy that
invented a lot of it.
The like button or whatever. Right. And it's like, oh, I thought we were just doing good. I don't know if I buy that. But I can understand maybe there's a level of ignorance especially
when you first initially make it.
Sure. I can imagine the level of ignorance to like the influence that you could have on society. But some of it did seem like a little like conveniently like ignorant, you know, like I don't know if I fully believe the full just rosy-eyed, we're doing good. We're bringing people together. Like I understand that especially since Facebook started off as a site that was like not started off, but the guy that started Facebook was famous for that Hot or Not site as well.
Wait, what?
You never saw what was that you never saw the
Social
Jesse
Network?
Eisenberg?
No, I didn't see it. No.
So anyway, it just seemed like, do people not know that they're addicted to their phones? Like I am addicted to my phone, but I'm also I know. Mm-hmm. It's not like I don't know, you know?
Right. Well, I can tell you, I try to use mine as little as possible, but with this these 2 online classes this semester, It's definitely made it a little bit more difficult to. I'm not trying to make excuses, but
I mean, it's not, I don't think you have to make an excuse for
is
not
this
going on
is this
social media, but
phone addicts anonymous podcast now?
I'll say this. I'll say, yeah. Oh God, I woke. Actually, I woke up. Sometimes I have trouble sleeping. I woke up in the middle of the night the other day and
You're just scrolling through Twitter.
I don't really scroll. I did actually. That's a lie. But I listened to a full hour and a half podcast and then went back to bed.
Nice.
That felt like some addict activity, but I wasn't getting up specifically for the phone. I don't think. Anyway.
Right. You were listening to an episode of the Untranslatable podcast, right?
Yeah, I just like to make sure everything's tip top.
That's right.
What were we talking? What the hell are we talking about right now?
What were we?
Oh, the social dilemma.
Oh, yep.
I just don't believe that they're as innocent as they try to make it seem like they are. But I thought it was interesting. You know what I really did kind of mess with me a little bit?
What?
Which I guess in theory I knew, but when they played it out in the dramatization was the dramatization of the software deciding what to give you. So it's like
What do you mean?
So it's like, they clicked on they're getting a message from blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. Put up the little dot so they'll wait, so they'll see that they're responding.
That they're writing.
It's like, all right, they've been scrolling. They saw a picture of this. They saw a picture of this. Show them this. Give them an ad of this right now. So and it's like, all right, we got 36 cents off of that. He clicked on it or whatever.
Right.
And it was like, there was like these three dudes that were essentially representing the AI,
right,
and how
the
algorithms,
it functions. Yeah, right. It is pretty crazy.
That I guess
stuff.
it makes sense, but when you see it like that and they make it in a weird way. Also, the music was so dramatic. By the way,
well, it's a movie, of course.
It was like they make it seem like the AI is about to jump out from behind me and strangle me.
Well, be careful with technology, Jared. Be careful.
It was like it had like that wee woo wee woo wee woo, like that sort of like, I don't know. It was just so unnecessarily scary.
Right. Did the movie make you feel good that you've deleted Facebook?
No, because I still have Instagram. And it made me feel better. It made me feel better on an addiction level, because that was definitely unnecessary scrolling. I don't miss it one bit. So on that level, it's good. But
no FOMO, Jared.
But I guess what I'm getting at is like I'm still in Facebook's system. They still have Facebook. Still has me.
They have you, Jared.
So in that sense, and now, did you notice that Facebook Messenger and the Instagram DMs are one thing?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So it's just more. It's just even when I saw that, it was even more like, yeah, Facebook still got me.
It's still going to become. It will become in the future Faceagram. Be ready, Faceagram. You heard it here first. You're right. Instabook, Faceagram. I don't know.
Faceagram is pretty good.
Yeah, I like that one. Faceagram.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's crazy though. The movie does definitely have some it was kind of scary,
a little over the top
overtones. Yeah,
like you know what I liked and found, and I me, because I like to make stupid jokes about stuff. The dramatized family was so confusing to me, because it wasn't. I get it; it doesn't really matter, But I was just laughing because it was a black dad, but then everyone else was no. Then there was. I spent like the first bit of the movie trying to figure out how this dramatized family. I was like, so is this like a stepdad situation?
Right.
But it doesn't matter. It really doesn't
Mom's
matter
new
at
boyfriend.
all. Yeah. But anyway, remember when they were at dinner and the mom locked up all their phones, in the lockable Tupperware thing, and the daughter like broke the Tupperware open. In my head, I'm like, all right, that's a little dramatic.
Right.
There's no way.
I don't know,
I cannot
dude.
see that happening in my house.
I think some kids might freak out like that nowadays with phones.
I understand. I grew up at that age or whatever. I didn't really have a connection to my phone like that, even if I had one,
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe it's a little different, but like I just couldn't imagine doing that in front of my parents. That's what I'm more getting at.
Sure.
There's no way that would go well, and then there was no way that that would end with me getting my phone. You know, if I did that, they'd be like, well, no, you're definitely not getting your phone. They wouldn't just be like, oh, well, she got it, and she's going to go leave the dinner table and walk away.
Yeah, no, mine would be...
That's not how that works.
Right. Give me my phone back, and it's time to get grounded or
I was like,
whatever.
That's a serious parental issue here.
Right. Oh, man. How old were you when you got your first phone?
I was in 7th grade. And then the reason specifically for that is because it's when I moved to Germany and I started taking public transportation.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, that makes sense. Sure.
And it was just, obviously it wasn't this, it was just like a it was a Siemens, but it was like it was just a standard sort of
cheap little brick phone.
Yeah,
back in the day,
I guess it is cheap, but I mean
that's the job done.
It had the durability of like one of those old school Nokia phones.
Right. Yeah, you could drop it like 10
so I was
stories
like, I guess
down.
it is cheap, but it also was
gets the job done.
Way more durable than any phone I've had since then.
Yep, for sure. Well, I don't think they make them nowadays to be durable. They make them to be sleek and look cool and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, glass. All glass.
Touch screen, touch everything.
I've seen so many people on Instagram like posting getting their new iPhones or their new PlayStations. And sometimes I wonder, I'm like, who are these people that just buy technology like that as soon as it comes out? And especially since these are probably the people that also have like the latest iPhone 12 Pro or what is the last one? 11 Pro or
12.
whatever.
We're at 12
no, but I'm
now.
saying the people like showing, oh, I got the 12 Pro are the ones that probably are like taking a picture of the 12 Pro with their 11 Pro or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just like, I really don't understand that style of consumerism. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, I upgraded my phone from, I had an iPhone 6.
Right.
So it had been a while. But yeah, I agree with you.
This is a 8 Plus, and the one I had before this was a 6. Before that was a 6. And the reason I got this, literally my mom texted me. She's like, I got to buy one, get one free deal. Do you want an iPhone 8? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to pull my leg, if I have to. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's like, don't tempt me with a good time. So yeah.
All right. I was 16 when I got my first phone because I started driving.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yep.
And I feel like if I hadn't moved to Germany, it probably would have been a little later.
Right.
Like I don't think my parents were thinking about it before that. Like in the U.S.
Right.
Like that was coming up, and they're like, all right, well, I guess if he's taking a train by himself, at 13, maybe it would be nice if I don't know.
Yeah, to be able to get a hold of him. Yeah, right. I would say so.
Yeah,
I would say so for sure.
So yeah. I mean, the movie was fine though. I honestly, did. I'm not gonna lie. I rolled my eyes at it a lot. I was just like, I'm like, I get it. I get it.
Right.
I get it. We're all addicted, and I'm like, all right. I don't believe that you're so innocent. I just thought we were doing this for the greater good. I didn't realize what terrible things could happen. And it's like, I mean, I get that you didn't realize what this could become, but since you're a company. And I know how specifically, and you specifically have departments like set up on how to like retain and get people and all that stuff. I don't know if I'm going to fully believe that you were just completely innocent and dumbfounded and like blindsided by the fact that this was just some sort of.
Well, you want to make money, you want to grow your company,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's one more thing that I did find a little interesting was the idea of being able to like dial up the chaos around a specific topic if you wanted to, or it's like it's very easy to get people to get worked up about something because essentially I mean the algorithms, but it could be a person, can like decide what to put in front of people. So like what's trending, there's could be right now there's on the top little 6 or 7 area there's things that are trending, but there could be like 40 other things that could be in that place right this second, and it's like, how are we deciding which one are we going to get put to this specific person to get them specifically to be more like engaged and to be more likely to like.
And who chose it?
And the best way to get that engagement is by promoting these arguments and stuff. So it's like that's the idea of being able to like decide and like turn up like, oh, let's like get people a little more. And it's so weird because the way we're talking about this, like it's people, but it is like the program, like the software that obviously someone programmed, but then it's just like doing its kind of own thing, and you know,
right.
So
it's fascinating stuff, though. Isn't
the
it?
idea that a program is essentially deciding how to like keep me involved is yeah. I mean, I could see how that's disturbing a little bit.
Yeah,
and I don't. And the thing is, me making a conceited effort to reduce my screen time from like 6 hours a day to now like 3 to 4 hours a day. I feel like doesn't really make a difference in the grand scheme of these companies collecting all their information on me and really capturing me.
Right. They got you.
Yeah.
They got all of us.
Well, that's another thing that bothered me. I kept being like, I get it, yeah. I would just be like, all right, what's the solution? There is no solution or anything. None. There is no, they like, it's like, all right, so you're into this world and you know how to program something that is addicting and to the masses. So you've never pontificated on granted, you know, obviously they didn't produce
pontificated.
Like you never pontificated on. By the way, I have a word of the day widget on my phone. I don't know if pontificate is the word of the day.
That's a good word.
Today, the word of the day is infinitesimal. Infinitesimal.
Is that like small? Minuscule?
Yeah, extremely small. So it's like you've never like pontificated on what the solution could be for this. It's like I find that ridiculous. That
no, it's easier to just say it was bad, so I stopped doing it.
I get it, but I just wish that's why I was like. Well, that's why I felt even less sorry for them, because it's like, it's not like you're doing anything about it. Are you? I don't know. But they didn't, at least if they did, they didn't present it like they were. Just like, I got out of it. You know, it's like I took I still have stock options in these companies just to feed my family on a modest couple million a month. But, you know, I was just like, all right, your problems to me are so infinitesimal.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. Yeah, it's a crazy movie, though, and it's definitely made me think a little bit differently about social media. But I agree with you. There aren't really any steadfast solutions.
Yeah. But I wish, and I guess it's more on the producers, but I just wish that they would at least, like, if like they would think to ask that question.
Right. Well,
although I could totally imagine them asking that question and these freaking guys being like, I don't know. It's too late.
We just aren't there yet.
And I just roll my eyes and be like, all right, thanks, dude.
Right.
You just told me that it's addicting. I already know that. And now you're just telling me there's nothing we can do.
That's right. Nothing we can do, Jared. But you know what we do
you ever can I ask you one more thing?
Yeah.
Do you ever think there's going to be a point when there's going to be like a mass sort of like a exodus away from quote unquote technology, maybe on a larger scale, people giving up their smartphones in favor of like just a dumb phone like a Nokia, whatever that brick was, the famous brick from back in the day. You know, people just en masse deleting Twitter or Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. And
probably not. But I think maybe. I don't know. I think it would take a very special kind of person to do that.
I could imagine something like that happening if there was some sort of mass. It doesn't seem that unbelievable to me. Now, that doesn't mean some new social media wouldn't come right after, but I'm saying if there's some sort of like mass hacking or something, or like exposing of data and information, and like all of a sudden everyone's DMs are just on a website and you can just type in someone's name and pull up their DMs or something. And it's just
we get some spicy ones at the Untranslatable podcast. That's for sure.
Like if just en masse you could do something like that, or something.
Right.
Then I could. And it's already been proven that these social media sites are very hackable.
Right.
So if I could imagine something like that,
that's
happening.
interesting to think about. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if that might not be a bad thing. I'm not sure.
But the thing is,
to take a break from social media for
something
a while.
would be right there to follow up. You know.
Right. That's true.
But
there's always another one coming up. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
That is for sure. Well, should we get started on some untranslatables?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Jesus, that is loud.
Oh, coming in hot today. Untranslatables are idioms, proverbs, axioms, phrases, words that don't translate on a one-to-one basis into English. And we are your certified untranslatable professionals here to figure these out for you.
Yeah.
And you want to get us started today, Jared?
Sure, dude. Yeah, my first one is French, and it's changer son fusil d'épaule.
Which means?
To change the shoulder you lean your gun on.
That's to change your job, my man. Change professions.
No, but I like the confidence.
Damn, I thought I had it.
No.
To try something new.
Kind of, but not really.
Warmer? No?
You're getting warmer, but that's not really what it is. But you're on the right track. I'll say this. Now, there was a election recently here in the United States. Kind of.
Wait, there was? Really?
Yeah, I don't know if you heard about that. I don't know if social media was able to inform you.
No. or phone calls or text messages.
Dude,
or commercials on TV.
Those text messages stopped
They were
immediately. By the end, it was real bad.
I should have every time they should have said that, I was like, and that's one more vote for Trump. And that's what, because it was all coming from the Biden side, to be honest, on my phone.
Yeah,
at least.
for me too. But I wonder.
It's because of social media, bro.
See, I imagine they must somehow either know or it's like there must be that we're leaning that way somehow or something.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't really interact with a lot of Trump people to know what text they were getting.
Right. I mean, granted, I voted for Joe Jorgensen, of course.
Joe Jorgensen has enough budget to send like 20 texts.
Right. For the whole nation, just 20. Actually, I voted for Kanye.
She was just using her own iPhone, just like going as fast as she could.
No, copy paste, man. I think she's a smart enough lady. She knows copy paste.
Maybe she's at least smart enough to have a Mac, and then she could at least do it on a computer.
Oh, that's true.
So anyway, we just had an election. And this is, by the way, to change the shoulder you lean your gun on. I don't know if you to remind you.
Have a vote for another side.
Yes, there you go. To change your opinion, your method or strategy on something.
Okay.
Change the shoulder you lean your gun on.
Interesting. Well, Jared, this untranslatable is a Taiwanese Mandarin or Taiwan. Yeah, I don't know what the correct terminology is for, but they'd say this in Taiwan, and it is Dashan. I think that's how they say it.
Dashan?
Nope. Dashan. And that means to flirt. I can't tell you what it means. Let me describe it.
I think you just did.
Not completely.
Okay.
Not completely. I wonder what these. That's the only bad thing. I just realized this example does not have a literal translation for it. Let me pull up a quick literal translation for you, and we'll see what comes up in one way or another. We'll figure it out. All right. Let me see here.
But should I just wait here as you do this? Or could I give you another one or something?
Nope. I got it right here.
Okay.
1 second here.
Hold on, everyone.
Hold on. Be patient, everybody. Patience is a virtue, as they say.
Yes. We're here to teach childhood lessons to the world.
Why is it? Okay, this is really dumb.
You really won't let me just do it.
Go ahead. Yep, but I'm not gonna be focused because I'm.
Okay.
Jared, just put the mic down. Well, Jared, if you could actually do like the native.
I wish I had the Jeopardy.
All right.
Music.
Well, Jared, I'm gonna count this one as an L on my part. I can't pull it up. It's not working. Doesn't. Oh, well, I'm dumb. Okay. Oh, this has been an interesting day, Jared. Interesting day. All right, here we go. All right, but we want it in English. All right. So that's how you say it, but. Oh, strike up a conversation is, I guess, the literal translation for you. But that's not what this means in Taiwan. Dashan means to strike up a conversation. I gave you a clue.
I was say, no, am I supposed to guess because you just told me what it means?
Well, kind of. That's only a piece of the puzzle. To flirt, but
to flirt with danger.
Let me just say this: if this happens at work, it's going to be pretty weird at work.
To sexually harass someone?
No. It's not that far.
Okay.
Not that far. No. It's like let me try to paint you a picture here, Jared. Let me try to paint you a picture, okay?
It's the literal is to strike up a conversation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, to strike up a conversation. So maybe that'll help you. So say say Gerald and Shannon are at the water cooler, getting their little water break, right? And Jerry says, oh shoot, what was it?
Shannon.
Thank you. Jerry says to Shannon, "Hey Shannon,
Yes?
did it hurt?
What? Did what hurt?
Falling from heaven?" Yeah. So would you say is that a smooth way of flirt?
No, so clunkily flirting at someone?
Yep.
Or is it like coming on too strong, maybe?
No, it's
Bad flirting?
Yeah, basically to flirt, but in a mocking or slightly awkward manner.
Okay.
It's like a cheesy pickup line. I would say is kind of awkward. Yeah, just like awkward flirting, which I feel like can definitely be sadly present at the workplace occasionally.
I gotcha.
Yep.
You know, I just realized
What?
we really need to make a habit of introducing this podcast in some form or measure.
Oh, that's true. We just get into it, don't we?
I mean, it's too late now, but
That's true.
This is the
That's true.
Untranslatable podcast, if you didn't notice, what you've been listening to for the past 20 minutes. My first Untranslatable is Polish, and now I see, maybe I should actually, I could just say it. It's not even, but it's like, I'm doing no one any favors if I just say this Polish one, because Polish is it's really rough. So here we go. Let's see how this goes.
Czy słoń nadepnął ci na ucho?
Czy słoń nadepnął ci na ucho? That's pretty good.
Czy słoń nadepnął ci na ucho?
Ucho is probably ear, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Very good.
Similar in Czech. That's
Okay.
why.
Do you know how to say elephant in Czech?
No.
Okay. Did an elephant stomp on your ear?
Is that like, are you listening to me?
No.
Did an elephant stomp on your ear?
That
No,
you
okay.
you could say it like that.
Okay.
But that's not what it means.
Can you hear me?
No. So
So it's not related to hearing.
it is related to hearing.
Okay.
But it's what are you hearing is more specifically. It's a specific, like it's it is related to hearing though.
Are you...
So let's say
Give me a clue.
let's say if I just told you dude, we all know this.
Uh-oh.
Tekashi 6ix9ine is one of the greatest vocal talents.
Oh, are you crazy? Or you have bad music taste?
Yeah, there
You
you
have
go.
bad music taste. Okay.
Are you tone deaf? Or it's like the music,
yeah,
like the
okay.
music you're playing sucks essentially.
I see. Okay. Fair enough. All right. My next one is also Taiwanese, and it is jicha, which means locomotive.
For some reason, I get great enjoyment out of doing like the opposite.
The opposite tone.
Yeah,
Yeah. So this one, it means locomotive.
locomotive.
Yeah, like a train.
Yeah. So is it like
Train.
someone that just has like a strong personality? This person's like a
Oh,
locomotive
you're-
in the boardroom.
Okay. And would you like to work with that person, or would
I don't
you
think
not?
you would like to work with that person, but I bet you that person gets shit done.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well,
That's
I would say this one
or he
isn't
just
quite as
railroads.
positive.
So it's like someone that like just speaks over someone constantly, and it's just like they're a locomotive and like during a conversation almost.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I'll give it to you. It's basically, this is an expression to refer to someone who's hard to get along with, or a pain in the butt, as we would say. And people say it's due to the fact that a locomotive train is long, seemingly never ending, and releases steam.
Okay.
So take that as you will. So that would be like a pain in the butt. There is the untranslatable owl.
Yeah. All
A
right.
minute or two late, but
I have
yeah.
one more for you.
Good.
It's
Let's hear it.
Polish. Polish.
Polska.
Yeah. Let me try first, and then I'll give you the
Okay.
real person. This is
Okay.
that doesn't sound like a computer, full computer. to me.
I disagree with you.
It sounds
but
like less of a computer than what was the one I had last week? I don't remember what that
was it
language
Estonian
was.
or something? I don't remember.
Maybe some. I don't remember. Anyway, on ma vija v kieszeni.
On ma węża w kieszeni.
Okay, that's not too bad. though,
Veja,
Jared.
not vija.
So
On ma
he,
veja v kieszeni.
so he has something.
Very good.
Something.
He has a snake in his pocket.
Got a snake in my cowboy boot.
He's got a snake in his
Snake
pocket.
in his pocket.
and he's not afraid to use it.
Is that does that have a trick up your sleeve?
Oh, by the way, what? No, my what I just said is by
Not
no
related.
means helpful. I just realized. I just
A snake in his pocket.
let's yeah. So if you have any clues, I can give you
Give me a clue.
Okay.
Give me a clue.
So let's say you and I are we're
Snaking it up.
I'm trying to think of a okay. So it's like let's say I'm like, hey, let's go to J. Alexander. It's a nice restaurant. They have a nice menu. We can get ourselves a nice executive lunch. You know, like men, like adults.
Right.
And you're like, oh, I really like Five Guys though. It's cheap. It's right around the corner.
And I do like burgers, Jared.
And I do like burgers, and I know J. Alexander has a burger, but the Five Guys burger is like
Way better. Way
$10
cheaper,
less and way better.
for sure.
And I'm like, of course, Chad, you always have a snake in your pocket.
So it's you always have to argue about something, disagree about something.
No. Let's
You
say,
always have to go with a cheaper option.
yeah, you're a cheapskate essentially.
Ah, cheap snake. Okay. Okay, cheapskate. All right.
Yeah,
I
because
like
it's
that.
you're afraid to put your hand in your pocket because the snake's gonna get you.
Well, that's right, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one good way to guard your finances.
Yeah.
Keep that snake in your pocket.
Listen, I would love to go there, but this snake is really preventing me
Right.
from getting to my money.
I
So,
prefer to keep a puma by my piggy bank. That's what I do.
This guy's got a puma by his piggy
That's
bank.
right. That's right. My last one for you is Taiwanese, and it is Bei Ho Ling, and it means, go ahead, pronounce it the wrong way. I probably did too.
Beholing.
Actually, I think you did say the first two words correctly. Anyways, so this is, I guess, like a horror movie shutter, which is like a character in a horror movie from a Thai horror movie that lingers behind your back.
Does that mean someone's just got like bad luck following them around all day?
No, I think this would refer to a
Someone that's
person who
depressed?
is the spirit lingering behind your back. So, for example, Jared, say you and I went on a trip, and I was that spirit lingering behind your back. You know, you were like, I'm going to go do this. I follow you. I'm going to go do this.
Oh!
go
You
do
just
that.
like you just hover. Someone that just what I don't is there some sort of untranslatable.
How would we
English that-
call? Yeah, how would we call a person like that, especially in a relationship? We would say he's really or she's really.
Oh, clingy.
There we go.
Clingy. What was the
Yeah.
literal again?
It says right here, spirit that lingers behind your back.
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense now.
Yep.
Okay.
Spirit that lingers behind your back.
I see. So it's just like, yeah, I'm just being followed by a ghost or something. Yeah,
Yep.
clingy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is definitely not what you want in a lot of workplaces, Jared. You don't want to be that clingy coworker that's
Or
always,
boss. Sometimes
That's
you get
true.
a like the
micromanager.
micromanaging
Ooh,
boss.
that's bad. In different cultures too, that could be perceived in different ways.
Yeah.
You
Like,
know.
for example, this. So when I thought about this, well, not when I thought about the topic, because I think you did. It doesn't matter who did. But anyway,
When you were thinking about the topic,
yes, thank you. I thought about American Factory. And
Oh,
that was
yeah.
a perfect
Yeah.
example of. Not a perfect. I don't know if it was perfect, but that was a great example of how American and Chinese cultures were clashing in the workplace,
Right.
And how they
They differ greatly.
the Chinese most of the Chinese employees were in like a position of authority over the American people because it was a Chinese company that they were opening a plant in the United States, and so the idea that the American employees wanted a bunch of breaks or wanted like a long hour long lunch break.
Lazy.
Yeah, and the fact that you couldn't just tell them no, and they
Because
were
right. And they didn't have a union though, did they?
they were
Because they
obviously
voted
did-
against
yeah.
the union eventually.
Yeah, and they were hiring like companies that were
Anti-union
to like convince them that unions were bad.
Right.
And then also they were the Chinese people made quote unquote jokes about
Americans being lazy.
remember that one American guy that was like the Chinese translator, and he made a joke about only if we could just like hit him, and he's like,
Right.
can you? And they're
Right.
and he's like, no, I don't think you can do that.
Yeah, definitely can't do that for sure.
But that was a very good insight into it was honestly good insight into the Chinese working culture, but it was also a great insight into the American one because I think it's, as someone that obviously lives the American one, it is kind of hard to even see your own system. It's just what is the norm to you.
Right. Which brings me to that I want to talk about with you, Jared, and this is according to from Business Insider, 11 American work habits other countries avoid at all costs. So let's talk about some of these.
Talking politics?
Yeah, you can predict a couple. Hold up, though. So the way Americans work has people in other countries scratching their heads, just to give us. So you think maybe politics? Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see. Let's go through the list. So politics might be one of them. Do you have any other predictions?
I would say something that like people from outside of America would find baffling that we do.
Yeah.
I would say maybe our lunch, how we handle lunch, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Because I feel like a lot of other countries, not even European, a lot of other countries in general take the lunch hour a lot more seriously. In the sense where it's like everyone takes it at the same time. A lot of times people eat together.
Yep.
I feel like that's less common in the United States, at least in my experience. And I have, I've been in normal corporate America for the past 5 or 6 or 7 years, something like that. I would say vacation. Obviously, how we handle vacation is atrocious here.
Yeah.
There's 17. Did you say
11?
Oh, still,
Let's go through them.
All right.
You got a couple of them. I'll tell you. The first one on the list, and I don't know if these are in any particular
and I would also
order.
imagine like a work-life balance. So like when our day begins and ends, probably.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Jared, because the first point they make here is Americans work crazy long hours.
Yeah.
And they say here, perhaps the most notorious habit of American workers is their tendency to work long hours. A Gallup report from 2014 estimated that the average full-time worker in the U.S. works 47 hours per week. I can tell you, Jared, right now I'm probably working at least 50, maybe 60 hours a week, just with all the work I have with my teaching and with my other jobs.
Yeah, let me think. I'd say realistically, I start around 9, let's say, on average, and I probably stop around 5, probably. What's that? That's and I usually don't take like a lunch. And if I do, sometimes I'll eat while I work or something.
Which leads me to another point here, Jared. Which
eating
is
while we work.
Eating while we work, or eating at our desk.
That's very common, in not even now that we're in a pandemic, but even in corporate America, that was super normal for people to sit at their desk and eat.
Yep. I mean, I sat at my desk in grad school and ate usually.
Oh, I like it too because I'm a Aussie, as they say in German, and so I like sticking to myself and being able to have my headphones.
I don't know if you should proudly give yourself the title of Aussie.
Isn't that antisocial?
Yeah, but I think it has other.
Yeah, no, it's more like a rebellious
you're like a weirdo.
Kinda, I know.
Maybe you are Aussie, Jared.
It was the Aussie was a super common insult. When I was I was a kid, yeah.
Right. But yeah, eating at your desk is another thing that I think a lot of other cultures don't do. Like in Jinan, most of the teachers and students, they just go to the cafeteria. And
same in a lot of European, because a lot of European countries do that too.
Yeah.
And they have like an hour that is the lunch hour. Mm-hmm. Like we don't have that at all. We actually just have that now that we've been working from home within the past couple of months or so. They did that because people's schedules have been so packed that our company responded, which is great, I think, and actually put in everyone's calendar like blah blah blah, our lunch hour or whatever, and we can't schedule meetings then.
Right.
And but I imagine in other countries that is more of a given. It's less needed to put that. To put that in the calendar to specifically say don't put meetings here. I feel like that is maybe more given because that's the culture where it's like this is when we all eat lunch when we're there.
Right. And I think a lot of places they go and eat lunch together as a group more, and we don't do that as much. Obviously now with the pandemic it's a little different, but still.
I think psychologically there is something to getting away because I got to a point where I still did eat alone, and I don't eat every day also. I didn't eat lunch every day. But I got to a point, and this is when we're at the office, where I did like to try to make a point to get away from my desk. So I would still sit alone usually if I could, because sometimes I prefer that. But I would actually go to the cafeteria just because I'm like, just because there are a lot of windows. I could sit next to a window, and I'm like, I'm sitting at this desk all day. Let me just get a change of scenery.
Right.
But so that's a good one.
Let me give you another one here.
Okay.
And I am guilty of this one 100%. Sending emails after work hours.
Yeah,
Especially
sure.
for my university. You know, I usually work from 8, sometimes even 7:30 to 3 to 5, somewhere around there, depending on the day.
Sometimes I get emails at weird hours where you're just like, what are you doing?
Yep.
Like I've gotten them at like 9 o'clock on a Saturday,
Right.
And it's like, why are you sending emails at this time?
Well,
It makes no sense.
I got one at 8 p.m. last night, and I'm like, it's 8 p.m. on Friday. Like, I don't, you know, I'm done.
You know, but see, something about that American culture. I think it really is a virtue to either work all day and work these crazy long hours, or pretend that you do.
Yep.
I think that is seen as like it's weird because I feel like we can admit that it's not healthy to just be obsessed with work. But
Yeah.
like, for example,
It's not.
people call themselves workaholics all the time here. I wonder if people are calling themselves workaholics that much in other countries.
Probably not.
I feel like
I don't know.
that is something. I don't know the
a
answer,
good
but I
question.
do
Yeah.
know that here the idea of workaholism is sort of like it's like
It's a pride
I work
thing.
hard
Right.
and I'm a hard worker. It's like a positive thing, even though it is like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. I'm a workaholic. I just can't help myself. You know.
Right.
It's like you can.
Yeah.
But there's something about giving off this vibe that you work all the time.
Exactly, which kind of leads into the last point I think we'll talk about in terms of American work mentality and habits. Americans hardly ever go on vacation.
Yes, I actually have
another
something
big
about
one.
that.
Oh, interesting. Let's hear it.
So I have some facts
Some
myself.
stats?
Yeah. So American workers take an average of just over 17 days of vacation, and this was in 2017. But you know, on average, it's probably not moving that much, and that was actually the highest in 7 years. Speaking of not moving that much,
Okay.
And the U.S. is the only advanced quote unquote economy that doesn't guarantee workers any paid vacation. So like, there's
It's
no
sad, isn't it?
there's no government mandated
Right,
vacation
specific
time that you
time.
have to give.
Right.
Now, a lot of big companies do because it's obviously a competitive advantage, and it is sort of now at this point a norm. But the government's not making you do it. A lot of other countries, it's done because the government mandates it. A quarter of the country's private sector workers don't receive any time at all. A quarter.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Okay, so where do you think are maybe if you're choosing? We're talking about mainly these as they put it, and this is from a Statista. Mainly these advanced economy countries. Where would you be thinking would be the best places for purely vacation reasons? If like based off of how much days you get of annual leave,
Germany.
according to the government, and then also public holidays as well.
Deutschland. Germany.
Yeah, Germany is 4 on this list.
Okay.
They have 20 annual mandated vacation days or
Okay.
leave days, as they say.
Is one of the ones in the top a Middle Eastern country?
No, and then 13 public holidays as well in Germany. So that adds up to, what did I just say? That adds
Decent
up to
chunk of
33,
change.
33 days days of paid vacation that you'll get.
Sweden?
And these are this is paid vacation, by the way.
Right.
Sweden, no, actually.
Denmark?
No.
No, I was thinking one of those Scandinavian
That makes
countries.
sense. I'll give you some of the other ones.
Okay.
Though. The UK is number 1.
Really?
28 days of annual leave. This
must
is
be
paid, by
nice.
the way. Statutory minimum paid leave is what this is.
Okay.
And then public holidays, they have 9. So that adds up to 37 days of paid vacation a year.
Okay.
Which is over a month.
That's pretty nice.
France, I feel like you should have guessed France.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You're right. They also work some of the lowest amount of hours, I guess.
Yeah, and I love how I'm like laughing, making fun of them for it. Where it's like I just admitted that we're workaholics and it's not
Right.
healthy, and
Right.
these people take their vacation.
I
and
think you're
personal
just a
time
little jealous,
seriously.
Jared. That's all.
I think I'm also
envious.
I think I'm
envious.
also indoctrinated by
That's
America. I think I have so I definitely believe some of that. Sort of pretend workaholism a little bit. So France has 25 paid days of annual leave, and then 11 public holidays, adds up to 36 days. Spain, 22, and then 14 public holidays, so that's 36 as well. Chile is another one. That's right below Germany at 30 days combined. South Korea has 30 days combined, the same days as Chile for both. Australia, I feel like you should have thought of Australia.
Probably
Australia
might.
actually has They're below Chile and South Korea, but they have 5 more days of annual paid leave than Chile and South Korea, but then they have a few less public holidays. Japan, Israel, Canada, Mexico, and then the U.S. is I'm sure there's some in between there, but they put the U.S. because people would want to know. And that one, we only have 10 paid public holidays off. That's it.
Right. That's it. Well, Jared, I think we know other countries we might need to look for jobs at, eh?
So, yeah. So, I wonder if there's anything we can do about it, you know?
I'm not sure.
I think the lunch thing is really interesting to me, too. Because why is it that we have no respect for? Is it more just workahol? Is it all just? It can't all go back to workaholism, can it?
It's also our dining culture. I don't think a lot of Americans, your average American, really has appreciates dining culture.
I think
whatever that means.
The average American, I agree with you. I think in general we don't have the level of respect for food. As other people do. And I think it kind of also represents a little bit of that collectivism versus individualism mentality.
Right.
Where it's like it's not even that like we're a family or something like that, but it's like we're all here together and we all I don't know. I just don't think we take food as seriously as other countries do. And I don't think we take the ritual of eating food as seriously as other countries do.
We just try to do it quick, make it quick, cheap, easy.
What about the idea of like siestas?
I love it. I mean, when I was in China, you remember we've talked about it on the pod.
You'd see people randomly sleeping.
See people napping all over the place in China. It was hilarious.
Do siestas exist in not corporate America, in corporate Spain, though, corporate Italy?
I'm not sure, but it's interesting you mentioned that, Jared, because in Japan, they actually have a practice. Let me pull it up here. They have
I would love a nap time, bro.
Well, see, so in Japan, they have a practice called inemuri, or sleeping on duty. And it's most prevalent among senior employees. In Japan, napping in the office is not only common, but can be seen as a sign of employee diligence. The biggest rule of inemuri is to respect other people's boundaries while you sleep. It would be considered disruptive if you stretched out under the table in the office conference room or took up several spaces on the train.
So you have to at least have an office, is what they're saying. You can't be a cubicle worker.
Well, you could be a cubicle and just be.
But they said it's sort of a good sign for like high up people. I wonder if that's like I wonder if it's a good sign for like an executive, because it's like my job is like making high level decisions, and there's something to having this this person having a very clear mind, and and if you need to sleep because we need you to have as clear a mind as possible making these decisions. There's no benefit to us as a whole if our boss is like exhausted, because that only leads to
I think that goes for all the employees, to be honest.
Yeah.
But,
see, that's I was gonna say that seems like something that could easily be abused, but I would never. There's no way I would ever sleep in the office. I don't know if I want to sleep around strangers, first of all.
Right. I don't know. The people I've seen plenty of people in China do it. Just fall asleep out on
That's
like
true.
a park
That's
bench.
in public too.
Right. So
do you know any people that have unlimited vacation?
Not unlimited. No.
I have a few friends that have unlimited vacation.
Oh, like Don, right? Doesn't he have? How does that even work?
It feels like a scam to me, to be honest with you. It honestly feels like a scam. How does that
even work?
Well, it works. Just means that there's no. It's not.
So does that mean you can take 2 months off if you feel like it?
I mean, I guess, but I think I guess
pull that unlimited vacation card, man.
But I think it's more just like there's no like we're not counting your days is essentially what they're saying. But it feels like a trap to me in the sense where it's like,
we don't take enough vacation time here anyways. So if people don't take it,
and remember when we were in Czech Republic and Don was like answering work emails, where it's like I feel like
you and I were just chilling.
There's still an expectation of some level of connectedness sometimes, especially since sometimes that unlimited vacation sounds really nice, and I feel like it's something that is attributed with maybe more like a progressive workplace, obviously, and sort of the idea of it is like where we respect our workers more. But I feel like it as I said, it does still it kind of makes it harder to be fully disconnected because it's like, well, I could take as much quote unquote vacation as I want,
Right.
So like I'll be here, but I could easily just check my email real quick because what could it hurt? Then also, I would say that it had like, I don't think that makes it. I feel like that makes it more difficult to make the decision to take a legitimate, I'm like fully step away vacation,
Right.
where when you have like a set number of days, it's like there's no guilt or thought around taking it. Where it's like this
on
is a company.
vacation.
The company gives you this. They give you these days to use them. That's why they're giving you to them.
Yep.
So there's no. So now, I'm not saying people don't get guilted in those situations, but you're not really. You're not really supposed. There's no really space to guilt anyone for them because it's like the company gives it to you, and this is how many days they give you. I wish they would just give more days. Like, why couldn't they give? The average company probably will give you 10 days to start or something like that. So why can't this company give you 20 days to start?
Right.
I just sometimes it feels like a scam because I feel like. My partner, she has unlimited vacation,
Right.
But I feel like it requires her to think a lot more about if she's going to take those days or not.
Right.
And when me, where it's like, I mean, they said I could
Use it or lose
use
it.
it or lose it.
Yeah.
Also, my boss, I feel like I really lucked out this time. I mean, I don't have any. Not that I've ever had bosses like scare me out of taking vacation in the past, but my boss now is Italian, so he takes.
He's encouraging you to take them.
He takes
Come with me.
he takes his vacation time seriously, and he used to take lunch. I mean, he still does, I imagine, but at least when we're at work, he took lunch pretty seriously. It actually sometimes was kind of annoying because I was like, I don't know if I always want to eat with a group of people. But but it was also nice though because if he was going to eat in the cafeteria, he had he was Americanized a little bit. Sometimes he'd eat in front of his desk, but if he was going to he would he'd be one of the few people that'd be like, I'm going upstairs to eat. You coming? Coming with me? Why not? Why aren't you coming? You're not going to eat lunch? Like the idea of not eating lunch was preposterous to him.
Right. Can't do that.
It's not what it
Right.
still is.
Right.
And he's like, what?
Does he send you messages? Hey, did you eat lunch? Do you need to Zoom so we can eat lunch
But
together?
it's like he's like, and when he would say that to me, in my head, I'm like, he's 100% right. Like, I get what he's saying, but. So I respect that. It is
Sure.
it is a nice spot to be in to have a European boss because then it's like, all right, at least I know that I don't have to worry about asking for vacation time. That's for sure.
Or being pestered during your lunch hour either.
That's true.
Well,
yeah.
unless you consider back in the day eating lunch with him as being pestered.
No,
I don't think you do. Let me ask you this, Jared. What countries do you think have the highest average working hours?
The U.S.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're top 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
China.
What do you think are number 1 and number 2? If you could just take a guess.
China.
No. Believe it or not, no. China is not actually on this list, at least according to this graph.
Japan.
Yep.
Korea.
Yep.
Okay.
Japan and South Korea are 1 and 2. Yep. And then number 3, actually, believe it or not.
European? Is it European? Number 3?
No, believe it or not, the number
Mexico.
3 is Australia, mate. Australia.
But I mean, I just because they
Then
just because they have the most amount of vacation doesn't mean they're not working. I think there's
Right.
also I think that's also goes to like I think these countries are sort of just more like their thought process is more around the fact that like it's only a benefit to us if we have like properly rested
Right.
in people with like healthy psychologically healthy people working with us. There's a benefit to that is not just we care about people because these are still companies,
Right.
but there's an actual what do you call it when it's a productivity benefit to like when we have the people here they are working,
Right. Yeah, and I think it's smart to give people a vacation so they do have that break and can come back refreshed and ready to work. What's interesting, though, Jared, about those countries that we mentioned with the most hours, this is also the percentage of people working 50 or more hours per week. So South Korea, 20% I guess, of the people they polled in the survey work 50 plus hours, 21.8% in Japan. Whereas U.S., it looked like 11.4% worked over 50 hours in the people they surveyed.
Okay.
But either way, I think it's interesting. It wouldn't surprise me in terms of Japan and South Korea. I know in Japan, I mean, I forget the word, but they have a word for like being worked to death, basically.
Yeah.
I tell you what, man, that's definitely not the way I'm trying to go out. Is being worked to death.
Yeah, I know.
That would.
I feel like
that would be rough.
I feel like they're our generation and like the millennial
too
generation.
lazy?
No.
Is that what you're saying? You call me lazy, Jared?
And the generations to follow. I feel like, at least in the U.S., I feel like we are seeing a shift in maybe workplace culture in the United States. At least.
In what way?
In perception, in like working from home. Now that obviously has to do with our ability to do it,
Right?
But the idea of taking vacation, I don't know. I just feel like we're becoming a little bit more maybe also like what you wear as well. I feel like I think a lot of this has been spurred on by the pandemic because I think obviously a lot of companies are realizing that working from home is most of your workforce stays relatively productive. I said that weird. Productive under those conditions, and you're not losing. You're not losing a whole bunch of productivity just because people are home and you imagine that they're barely paying attention.
Right.
And then also, I don't know. I just feel like that with like the. A lot we see like a lot of tech companies being like, all right, we're just doing work from home forever,
right?
And which gives people a lot more flexibility in general with where they live and all that stuff. So I just think that maybe it starts there and then it just trickles down. And I also think with the clothes thing about like wearing your khakis and dress shirt and a blazer or whatever you wear to work, where it's like I feel like some of those walls have definitely been broken down now that we're all at home, and most people are just sitting at their wearing their normal clothes, like a t-shirt,
right,
or even just like some standard, flannel button-down or something.
I mean, this is basically what I wear at work every day. T-shirt.
Where it's like, I'm presentable,
who are we fooling?
But who we fooling? I'm not sitting at my desk in khakis and a blazer.
Exactly. Full on tuxedo, top hat.
And so, although sometimes we do, and at my job, sometimes we get like presentations from like outside companies, and sometimes they will still be wearing like the blazer,
and you know they're wearing like sweatpants.
Below they're wearing sweatpants or some gym shorts or something,
or yoga pants if it's a woman. Yeah, for sure.
But so sometimes I feel like those walls are just being broken down a bit, and
that's fair.
So yeah.
I think you're right about that, Jared.
Do you want to move on to this? Oh, clearly you do. Let's move on to this song of the pod of ours.
Let's do it. We got something a little different for everybody today. We've been going down the rock path for a while, and we decided it was time to change it up. So today our song of the pod is by the German rapper Bushido, featuring, I think it's probably Joka, right? Not Yoka.
Yeah, probably.
Theorie und Praxis.
Bushido is a German rap legend.
Probably. I mean, he's definitely a famous German rapper.
I mean, because when we were listening to the song before, I was saying that he was hot when I lived in Germany in 2004. Right. I moved to Germany.
And I mean, this song came out in 2012, so it's been, or at least the music video.
So at least he's
around a
still
while.
Getting millions of views 8 years later.
Right.
So.
Right. And this has got like a kind of more classic, older school hip hop beat, I feel like, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty basic beat. Right. Driven mostly by the rapping, I would say.
Right. Yeah, I would agree.
The beat doesn't. It's not that there's
nothing fancy.
It's not. It's unintrusive. But yeah, but it's not. It's not. It's unintrusive exactly. Or it's like it's not really the main focus. I feel like.
Right. You can put more focus on the lyrics because there's not a lot going on. Right. But yeah, it's an interesting song. It talks about like thinking about all these things, but it doesn't really matter. Because theory and practice are very different. What you think about and what happens can be very different.
Yeah, that's how I feel about this whole conversation we had, because I probably will live my life as a normal workaholic American, in spite of me knowing...
Eating just really quick at your desk.
In spite of me knowing that the balance is key to a healthy lifestyle.
I mean, we can always go on an untranslatable vacation somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
If you need to use up your vacation days,
I was telling you that I got a bunch of days that I got to do something with. I got to do something with these days, and I can't let the company win and have
That's
them.
right.
Because I feel like at the end of maybe they don't. Maybe the company mostly wants you to take vacation too. I don't think they're like at the end of the year like they can compile like all the vacation days that weren't taken. Actually, they can't do that because we don't have any formal system that I put them into.
Right.
But I just wonder if they would look at them and be like, yes, look at all these
all this money.
all,
Right.
all these fools not taking their vacation.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting song. Theorie und Praxis.
That beard is kind of disturbingly sculpted.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a little too perfect.
those barbers over there though in Germany, they know what they're doing. Trust me.
Yeah, that's definitely. I imagine that involves a razor.
Straight razor.
Thank
for
you.
sure. Oh yeah,
you can't do that with a.
Yeah, you get lined up
like
like
a
that with a straight
clippers.
razor. I would imagine. Yeah, I mean, just the way it's curved. Yeah, but yeah, we're watching the music videos. We talk about this.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a good one. I mean, it's an old school kind of has that more old school vibe. Definitely
music-
can bump in the car.
The music video does. Yeah, it's great. Like car hip hop.
Right.
The music video doesn't really matter.
Right.
Like what is it means? What are they trying to solve some sort of crime?
Right. In the beginning, yeah, it starts with this interrogation.
As they're like in like a lair. It looks like in like this old school living room or
Mansion
or
kind of with a
not
marble
like a study
table.
playing chess.
Yeah.
As these two detectives that can't solve or just stuck on this case.
They're
I don't
pining on this case.
I really don't understand what
Major
this video
deal,
has
yeah.
to do with the idea of theory versus practice.
Right. Well, yeah.
I like the song though, I like
it is a good one.
I like just like the some old school hip hop. You know what I mean? I was
for
listening, I was
sure.
listening. You said you heard me listening to music on the way here. I was listening to Black Thought.
Oh, nice.
So
okay.
he's definitely just some old school hip hop. So
Nice.
I was in the mood for it.
There we go. Yeah, lately I've been in that Ningen Isu kick. I've been listening to
Yeah.
all sorts of their catalog after we did that song on the pod like 4 or 5 episodes ago.
Yeah, I think it was way less episodes ago than
yeah,
that. But yeah,
probably.
I think
But
it was
yeah.
2 episodes ago.
But anyways, check out Theorie und Praxis by Bushido featuring Joker. I think it's Joker. I
Yeah.
think so. So check that out. It's definitely a good one. Yeah, so some takeaways today, Jared, for work culture. I think in the U.S., another big thing in the U.S. that I forgot to mention was time. I think like coming to meetings on time is kind of a big deal in the U.S. Whereas
Yes.
other cultures, it's not as time isn't as strict of a fixed.
Well, I told you about when I was in, and this is not the workplace, but I imagine the culture is not that different. I was I was part of this group where we traveled to France and we did a project with some students in France.
Subdiventi.
And we were doing these classes all day, and so we had like a breaks at points during the day. And us Americans would be looking at the clock.
Watching the clock. We
It
gotta
was like,
get
all
back
right,
in."
break ends at about 2:30. It's 2:29, and we're all starting to head back in. And it's literally that thing where we start to walk in and look back, and the French people are lighting up a
Pierre.
new cigarette
Right.
at 2:29, and we're like. I don't know if you could smoke that fast.
Right.
and
No.
then, and then you see like the professor out there with them having
Smoking a cigarette,
talking.
right.
We're like, oh, okay, I think we're fine.
Right.
And, yeah, we are very in Germany too, very punctual.
Yep.
They're probably more punctual than us in the U.S.
Probably.
I think in I think in the U.S.
But it's a different kind of punctual.
Yeah.
I feel like Germans don't get to places 15, 20 minutes early like some Americans.
Well, that doesn't
do.
really happen in like a corporate setting though. Like that's
Right.
not really realistic in like
Right.
a meeting setting because
that's fair.
People have
That's
multiple
fair.
meetings,
Right.
and so I don't think that really happens in the office. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. There's definitely that like in the U.S., I always get to like interviews like 30 minutes early, then sit in the car and like walk
Mull
inside
over.
like
Right.
2 minutes, like 2
Right.
minutes. Well, there's also the thing where it's like there's no benefit to the people to showing up extremely early anyway,
Right.
because it's
Right.
like
Just throws
that's
off their game.
That's just like disrespectful to their schedule. Like, ooh, you think I was just waiting for you
Right.
all day?
I mean, you weren't just waiting for me?
Just sitting here waiting
Right.
for you to show
Right.
up.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah,
But yeah, time's a big one.
Yes.
I do think we work too much in the States, as in we don't keep a good division, especially now with working from home.
we don't. Yes,
We're very bad at keeping that work-life division. I feel like
don't-
France does a good job with
Yeah.
keeping that division more so, and Germany isn't too bad either, really.
yeah. I think we don't respect the meal That's
Yep.
something that
Yep.
I've
Chowing
really
down at our
noticed a
desk.
lot. Yeah.
I mean, I eat a lot right there, right in front of us.
I told you for the second time I've spilled something on another computer.
Right.
You think I'd learn?
Right. Nope. It'll happen again. You heard it here. It'll happen again. Yeah. That's
It'll
why,
definitely happen again.
Right. That's why I when I eat here, I move anything tech related. So if I
Yeah.
were to spill anything, there's no spillage. But that just goes to show you, we eat at our desks way
I
too
actually
much.
blame Tropical Smoothie on that one because I got a smoothie delivered and they didn't deliver it with a
didn't cap
straw.
it. What?
So
Oh, you uncapped it.
So I uncapped it and I was drinking
Okay.
it and then I knocked it over.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, that doesn't matter.
Sounds like we need to sue Tropical Smoothie
Listen,
Cafe.
I literally cannot break another work computer. Like I
Right.
just broke one, and like I can't come back 2 months later.
Your IT guys are gonna be like, this guy. Of course. Okay. Yep. Of course. You
yeah,
have
I
another
literally
computer.
cannot
This
afford
guy.
to break another work computer.
Right. Why have they not invented a computer that's waterproof yet? I'm sure we have the technology.
Well, I will say, I was not really concerned about my computer. I was concerned about my keyboard, which is on top of
right.
my computer, because
Right.
it was this laptop and it was closed, and I really wasn't and so it just. Ooh, speaking of which, my battery's about to die. So the charger actually doesn't work that great.
Oh.
So I actually wasn't that concerned. You can finish the episode though.
Okay. But yeah, so let's see some other takeaways. Like you said, the meal thing is definitely a big one in the States. Some places I would say attire for work, like specific clothing, it can be a big deal. But yeah, I think overall it's really fascinating the different work cultures there are around the world.
What was the general clothing culture in China? Like, what were the expectations?
Business
of people to
cash.
wear?
Well, it depends on the industry.
You were
you're
also
in.
in school. You're in school where
business
it's tend to be more
cash where I
casual.
was, but I think other businesses is probably suits.
So you would dress up more than this. I imagine.
wouldn't wear
like
jeans.
a proper
I
dress
wouldn't wear
shirt?
jeans, and I'd wear a nicer button down than a
Okay,
flannel.
okay.
Although I love my flannels, no disrespect to the flannel fam.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
actually most of the places I worked. It's kind of that level. Although the place I work at now, I think it made me step up my game a little bit.
Okay.
Like I never really cared that much or thought that much about wearing a blazer to work.
Okay.
That's definitely more my cycle now. Like they definitely dress a little nicer, you know.
Right. I wore blazers a couple times here and there when I teach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Similar kind of thing, I guess. But
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it would have been weird at my other jobs to wear
Right.
one, but I just noticed it was like they were just a little step more formal than the past places I worked at.
Right. And
Actually, speaking of that, I was talking about how I think there's a move towards like a more casual workplace. At my last job, they at some point about halfway through me being there, they just gave up on the like the business
code?
casual thing.
Oh, really?
At some point they started, or like maybe early on when I was there, they would do like a casual Friday.
okay.
But then they
become
just said,
casual every day.
but then they just like you can wear jeans every day.
Right.
Eventually.
Did you rock some jorts into the office?
I never wore jeans. Maybe once or twice I wore jeans, but I did definitely fully switch over to Sambas and Converse being
Nice.
business appropriate shoes.
I'm really bummed you didn't wear any jorts, Jared.
No
Some
jorts.
solid jorts. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, I wore jeans when I was teaching in the Czech Republic, actually, usually button down and darker jeans, but I usually wore jeans there.
Yeah,
but that was high school.
I would say at least in general in the U.S. Well, I don't know. I feel like I feel like some of the formality, some
It's
of it
changing.
makes sense.
It's definitely changing.
Some of it kind of seems sort of foolish to me. It's like, who are we
Right.
fooling here? We're all just sitting behind. Like, why are we dressing up kind of uncomfortably to just sit at a desk for the most part? You know?
Right. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense, does it?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, wouldn't you want us to be as comfortable as possible if we're going to be sitting here for 8, 9, 10 hours a day?
Right. I would say so. Comfort is key when you're working from home.
Or in person, too.
And I don't think it affects your work at all. You know, if it doesn't affect your actual
Right.
work,
Yeah.
then who cares? You know?
Right, I'm not coming in a tank and some short.
Speak for yourself,
Short
Jared.
shorts.
Speak for yourself. Once again, speak for yourself. You know, I
Some
tend to
Daisy Dukes.
right. I like to wear the bodybuilder, you know, really thin,
yeah.
stringer, stringer
And the
tanks.
shorts, too.
Yeah, the real short shorts. You know, flamboyant colors,
The
like
70s
90s
NBA
style.
shorts.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
All right, dude.
worker mentality, that's for sure. Well, let us know at untranslatablepodcast@gmail.com what the work mentality is like wherever you live. We'd be curious to hear. You can find us on Instagram, Untranslatable Podcast. You can check out some pics, clips, all sorts of good stuff. Also, check us out on Twitter, Untranslatable1, the number 1, and you can slide into Jared's DMs. He always likes a good DM slide, so we'd appreciate that. And lastly, please, 5-star reviews on iTunes and Stitcher. Let us know how we can make this podcast better for you. So as we say here at the Untranslatable Podcast, dziękujemy, muchas gracias, shisha, and do svidania. And don't work too hard. Gotta find that balance, Jared. The balance, as the French would say.
So I think this charger would probably work better if I wasn't